Welcome back. It's a great pleasure to have you with us. Let's turn our attention to this story now. South Africa's National Assembly Speaker in Parliament, Baleka Mbete, was recently honored with the prestigious Martin Luther King Award in Washington in the USA. Well, that award was to honor and celebrate Mbete's fight against apartheid. She's now back home with her award, and she joins us from our Sea Point studio. It's such a pleasure to have you with us, at least. So good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much, Ayanda. Good morning to the listeners and compliments of the season to everybody. May South Africa have a good 2016.
Compliments of the season to you too, and I believe congratulations are in order. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I feel that everything that we've been involved in, and I'm talking about the collective I've always been part of, has not been in vain.
Were you surprised when you were told that you would be receiving this award?
Actually, I was. I mean, it was like out of the blue, out of so many people who are doing great work, suddenly why I should be singled out, I couldn't fathom. But I know where I come from, I know who I'm part of, and so I also don't get confused for too long in terms of why. It is the values that I was socialized by. It is what I believe in. It is what the people of South Africa have always fought for, a world of peace, stability, and development.
Let's talk a little bit more about that why. It has been a very difficult year in Parliament. We know you don't even have to go into the details of the walkouts, of the security police being called in, of the motions and all sorts of things that happened in Parliament. But that is just a small fraction of your long history of service. And unfortunately, people will look at recent history and judge you based on that. I want to now go back and speak to you about the years coming up before even 1994, the struggles that you had to face, not only as an individual, as a woman, as a mother, as an activist and as a politician. Speak to us briefly about that.
Ayanda, it's difficult to speak briefly about a history that has had ups and downs, that has had various angles to it. When I left South Africa as a young woman, I was also a mother of two babies. One was a year and a few months, and the other was only 4 months old. So, you know, it's some of those moments that come back when you try to flash back to history. But I also cannot but admire what I got into in terms of the organization that had already been banned when I grew up, when I became politically conscious in the 70s. And when I now came across the men and women who were leading us, who were operating from exile, it was something like out of this world. And it's a long story for one to be able to tell in a few minutes. But all I'm saying is that that's what is being celebrated through this award.
I know you had many aspirations. I believe one of them was to be a singer. There must have been a lot of things that you would wanted to do as a young mother as well. One would want to raise their children. Looking back and having received this award, do you think it was worth all the sacrifices that it took from you personally to arrive at this point?
Well, you know, when your life has always been about hard work, which you learn as you are a young girl growing up in a family that has particular values. By the time things are being celebrated or being highlighted, it's not something that seems out of the ordinary. It's how life is. You know, we do things and at some point there are certain outcomes and life goes on. There's nothing special about what has happened. I'm just, for a moment, a bit surprised, but I think it's a good thing it has happened, and hopefully we all celebrate what's good about it.
I think it's a great way for you to start the year. And I think it is a big deal. I mean, if you look at the previous recipients, the likes of your Kofi Annan, it is something that is worth mentioning and worth celebrating. But if you would put on your political hat now, once again, and let's speak about the context within which all of this arises, the relations between South Africa and the US, especially in AGOA. How did that make you feel personally, having gone there and receiving this award? Was there sort of a contradiction of, the things that have been left unsaid, things that are happening behind closed doors that perhaps ordinary South Africans don't know about? Or were you just there purely to say, I'm going to receive this award and live in the moment and enjoy it?
I think what we have to learn is that things that happen are like life in a family, where on a daily basis there are issues that come up. They are very serious, and maybe we get emotional about them 1 minute and we engage about them and we smooth them out. And in my view, AGOA was one item on an agenda which is much bigger in terms of people-to-people relations, in terms of a world that is consistently and continuously striving for a better future. Because in my view, leaders like Martin Luther King and those that continue to celebrate his life and legacy, what is more important about them is what we remember about the way they lived their lives, about their depth of belief in peace, stability, development, dignity for every human being. And I think that that's what is the issue. Even when we relate as nations or as peoples of different countries, it should be about our ability and our importance in terms of being recognized for who we are and our identity over the ages. Because that's what the struggle was about. That people, just because of the color of their skin, must not be denied the right to dignity and to human rights. And that's what the award is about.
We'll have to leave it there. Congratulations once again to you, and thank you so much for availing yourself for this conversation here on Morning Live.
Thank you very much, Ayanda, and thank you very much to the viewers. And hope, again, 2016 is a better year.
Let's hope it will be a better year, not only for South Africans, but in Parliament as well. Let's leave it